Tonight, the opposition SLP accuses the government of delaying the coronavirus-related travel restrictions to ensure the entry of a group of Chinese nationals.
Is there any truth to speculation that Chinese nationals, some of whom are connected to the DSH project, were allowed to land in St. Lucia?
The Office of the Prime Minister takes the SLP to task for what it describes as fear-mongering to score political points.
And I need to say that these accusations made by the St. Lucia Labour Party are absolutely untrue.
And concerns are raised about public safety after an elderly man is attacked by a man said to be mentally ill. That and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Wednesday, the 5th of February, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, Channel 117. The broadcast is also being simulcast on Kiss FM Radio. You can watch via our website. It's www.caribbeanhottv.com or on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm lovely Saint Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. The St. Lucia Labour Party has made a damning accusation against the government of St. Lucia in connection to the threat of the deadly new coronavirus. During a Wednesday morning press conference, opposition MP Moses Jabatis questioned the government's policy towards the coronavirus epidemic. Jabatis implied that the government made a daring decision to delay the travel restrictions in order to allow a group of Chinese nationals to fly into the country. This decision, he said, placed the lives of St. Lucians at risk.
The St. Lucia Labour Party calls on the government to respond to the following. 1. Is there any truth to speculation that Chinese nationals, some of whom are connected to the DSH project, were allowed to land in St. Lucia deliberately before the announcement of restrictions by the government? 2. Will the government take immediate measures to assess these individuals who may have returned from China or may have been in environments where the disease could have been transmitted, even if they came before the date of the restrictions?
Jabatis said the government has a lot of explaining to do and wondered why they did not take the same immediate steps like other countries in the region. He said whilst health ministers from sister islands were working overtime to take preventative measures in St. Lucia, the silence, he says, was deafening.
Did the government of St. Lucia deliberately delay the announcement? Deliberately to allow their friends who are connected to a proposed horse race in St. Lucia to be in St. Lucia? And are these people in St. Lucia? Where did they travel from? Where do they live? Are they at their homes? Are they liming around Grosile? Are they going to the restaurants? Are they coughing? St. Lucians have to be worried about this. And there are people who have said that they saw the Chinese nationals entering St. Lucia. And so, in a situation like this, where in some countries, I just read this morning, in a particular country, a young lady landed and she was asked to return. She was repatriated because she originated from China, and with all of the travel bans, people are being very cautious. But in St. Lucia, our Prime Minister has taken vacation, and the Minister for Health is speaking about murders.
The MP noted the efforts by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and urged all St. Lucians to take the ministry's advisories, follow their directions, and remain vigilant. Now, with such damning statements having been made by the opposition SLP, Hot 7 News reached out to the Office of the Prime Minister for an explanation of the situation which the SLP claimed unfolded. Senior Communications Officer Nicole McDonald has responded, accusing the opposition of engaging in fear-mongering. Rachelle Gonzales tells us more.
The Senior Communications Officer in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nicole McDonald, has responded to the damning accusations made against the government of St. Lucia by the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party. During a Wednesday morning press conference, Vieux-Fort North MP Moses Jabatis repeatedly accused the government of delaying the implementation of a travel ban and travel restrictions of persons coming into the country from China, which is currently in the grip of a coronavirus epidemic. The reason for the delay, he said, was to allow the entry of Chinese nationals into the country in connection to a planned Independence Day horse race. A few hours later, McDonald slammed the claims, saying there is no proof or truth to substantiate the statement.
And I need to say that these accusations made by the St. Lucia Labour Party are absolutely untrue, and it definitely shows that they're calling into question the integrity and the work of the good people at our immigration department, the people at our customs department, the people at the Ministry of Health, who are on the front lines of protecting us from this coronavirus that's sweeping the world. So it's very important that we do not follow this narrative. The Chief Medical Officer is the one in charge of sharing information, sharing official information on this. She's been in contact and has had meetings with our immigration, like I said, our customs department. There's several departments who are involved in the fight against this, who have been in contact with our Ministry of Health.
McDonald castigated the MP, saying his words are harmful and irresponsible.
What was definitely concerning was there was a lot of hearsay, there was a lot of rumor, there was a lot of introduction of things that they did not know to be factual, which they were sharing with the media. This is the kind of thing you want to discourage when you're dealing with something like the coronavirus. So I would like to actually reach out to the leaders of the opposition and the members of the opposition and tell them that they should be meeting with the Ministry of Health. They should be involved in the process in terms of protecting our country instead of joining the fake news and the hearsay that's going around. It's counterproductive. It's not what our country needs right now.
She then went on to ask that the opposition put the politics aside with respect to the major issue at hand.
This is not the time for us to be playing politics with an issue as grave as this. The Ministry of Health has been working very hard since last December to ensure that St. Lucia has the proper protocols and is doing everything we have to do in order to protect our population from the spread of the coronavirus. The ministry has had several training sessions and meetings with various persons at our borders of entry, including the Iranora International Airport, the VG Airport, and of course our seaports. The government has every faith in what has been done by our Chief Medical Officer. She has been doing an amazing job in terms of keeping the country ready and keeping the government and everyone abreast of what has been transpiring.
On Tuesday, the 4th of February, the travel ban was implemented, barring non-nationals coming from China from entering the country, and in the case of St. Lucian nationals, placing them in quarantine for 14 days. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rachelle Gonzales.
Following a random attack on an elderly man reportedly by a male of unsound mind on Wednesday morning, concerns have been raised about public safety amidst a seemingly growing issue of mentally ill people roaming the streets during mental episodes. The St. Lucia Fire Service responded to the incident and indicated that they are called out occasionally to tend to similar incidents. Jermaine William, who is the acting divisional officer attached to the St. Lucia Fire Service headquarters, sat with Hot 7 News to give the details of the Wednesday morning attack.
At approximately 8:05 a.m. today, Wednesday, the 5th of February 2020, officers attached to Fire Service headquarters responded to a call of a physical assault near Derek Walcott Square. On arrival at scene, the officers encountered a 70-year-old male who complained of being unable to shift his leg. The gentleman received some minor abrasions to his forehead and upper lip. He was packaged and transported to Victoria Hospital in stable condition.
Williams said whilst the reason behind the attack is unknown, eyewitness accounts paint a clear picture of what could have possibly caused it.
We do not know if the attack was provoked at all. From the eyewitness reports, we understood that the individual may have been of unsound mind. The police are currently investigating the matter. The overall condition remains the same. I guess the gentleman is now has been stabilized and is resting.
The divisional officer said the calls are not very common. However, similar cases have been reported in the past. When tending to such cases, He says the fire service does not work alone.
Generally, the response protocol dictates that we inform the police and we have the police respond together with us or before we get to the scene.
Police officials revealed that the alleged assailant was captured by city police shortly after the incident and is now in police custody. Leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, is calling on the powers that be to make matters of mental illness one of their top priorities where health and wellness is concerned. The call comes after an elderly man was attacked on Wednesday morning by a man who is reportedly of unsound mind.
The leader of the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party has voiced his concerns over a matter which he said is not getting the adequate attention which it deserves: mental illness. Philip J. Pierre's statement was made in connection to a random Wednesday morning attack of an elderly man in the heart of Castries. Pierre called on the powers that be to pay closer attention to the issue of mental illness.
We have to put mental health and wellness at the center of our health issues. Because there are many people, there are psychotic people, there are people who are depressed, there are people who, there are there are people who are suicidal, especially when there are difficult economic times. So mental health must be at the center. The idea of wellness, and this is why I made a point about taking personal responsibility in being fit, in what you eat. These things are very important for your wellness. So my answer to your question, my short answer is that mental health will continue to be a priority for our government, as we did when we were there. But the most important thing is we have to ensure that there is modern legislation to deal with these kind of issues.
Pierre questioned why better care is not being taken of such individuals. He called on the authorities to act on this matter immediately to prevent the reoccurrence of such incidents.
That is the question. It may be because of carelessness, it may be because we have to look at our laws, or it may be a combination of both of them. I think the answer to your question is that this guy is obviously of unsound mind, and he should be held in an institution for people of unsound mind.
The alleged assailant is a known resident of Tourouge, which falls under Pierre's jurisdiction as Castries East MP. When asked if he would be able to step in to deal with the matter, Pierre said he is not given the authority or opportunity to do anything.
All I can do is to make a plea to the authorities. As I told you this morning, the opposition is not included in these things. We're not included. It's not a government that includes us or speaks to us about anything. All I can do is to make a formal appeal to the authorities to do something about it, like to make sure this guy is put in a place where he cannot create that kind of damage.
The male assailant has become infamous for his aggressive behavior, as well as for damaging property by randomly smashing the windows of business places and vehicles. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rachelle Gonzales.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the fire service receives training on how to manage and prevent the spread of coronavirus. Former Agriculture Minister Moses Jamatis blasts the government for failing banana farmers and then offering a poor excuse. And Allison and Bertram Jean are headed to the U.S. Congress to address its members and possibly President Donald Trump. That and more coming up after the break.